All right, guys, tonight we are going to tie a fly that was recommended by one of our subscribers. So we're going to be doing a Mickey Finn. The request was for a Mickey Finn bass fly. Mickey Finn fly was primarily used for trout, but it was great for like bluegill and bass in general. So when I think of a Mickey Finn bass fly, I just think of a bit larger of a hook, maybe just the larger hook gap, not particularly a longer or bigger fly, but definitely could. But we're going to stick to like maybe 1.5 to 2 inch long Mickey Finn on this size. What is this? This is a size 4. So it's a pretty wide gape hook there. That would be better for bass than maybe say like a size 8, 3x long kind of streamer hook or something. So just to start this out, same old 6/0 black thread that we've been using. And this is going to work pretty good for this fly here. We're going to build up a little black head on it. All right, we're starting fairly far back on the hook. Move this light a little bit over the top so you guys can get a little bit more depth there. I'm gonna come back just before the barb there, which we'll mash that too. This is just like the only hook I had in this size, so we'll just mash those when we're done. Our first material, we're going to be using a silver tinsel. You're going to need a bit of this, not like a crazy amount, but like 4 or 5 inches, because we're going to be wrapping up the whole body. Tie that in right on the side of the hook. And I just pull that back and hang it over the back of my vise over there. So it's got somewhere to rest out of the way. Next material, I think standard for the fly is a silver wire, but I've got like this braided tinsely type stuff. It's got some texture to it, and I think this looks really cool. It's not as strong as wire, so we're going to end up epoxying the whole body here. It's going to look nice. Oop. Do some touching wraps here, cover up all this material. I got to tighten this vise up. It's sacrilegious, but a little screwdriver. There we go. And now she's quiet. Take some nice touching wraps. Oops. We're not going to go all the way to the eye. I don't like to crowd the eye on this one really, because you do build up quite a bit of bulk with all the deer hair we're going to be putting in here. So just kind of careful with that. All right. So since we have a rotary vise, we're going to take advantage of that. Otherwise, you'll have to hand wrap this all the way up. Oh, man, this is getting right in my way. There we go. I'll try to advance this pretty evenly, not miss any. Move that towards the front, and we'll just take those wraps away. Once we get up there. Put that right about there. We're going to capture that in. A couple more of those. Make sure I get a good, just double it over too. That way you know you really, really got that. All right, we'll pull the rest of that. So realistically, you didn't need 5 inches because we've got about 3 right here. But in the way of keeping my fingers out of the camera, I cut a little bit more. So maybe maybe 3 to 4 inches. So you got a good tag to hold on to. All right, so now we are on to this rib. I just think this has a bit more dimension than just the regular old wire that they use. So I like using this. And then we're going to epoxy it as well. There we go. There we go. There we go. A couple more. One jumped a little bit, but it's fine. All right, we'll capture that in. A couple good ones. Back over itself a little bit. Get our scissors, cut that all out. Perfect. All right, next step, we're going to use some. We focused good? Let me see if I can focus this a little better here. We'll lock that in. We've got some Loon Clear UV in flow. So this is like a thin. We're going to use it to coat all of this. We don't want to build bulk or nothing. We just want it to be completely encapsulated. That was a little heavy. Flex some of that. All right, we're going to spin that so it keeps its shape while I get my torch ready here. All right, torch is going. Perfect. We're going to torch this really good because we're going to be putting deer hair right over the top, so we don't want it all sticking in there and being tacky when we go to apply the deer hair. That feels good. A little on our thread here. We'll just get that off of there. Fine. All right, so that's the body. All epoxied in. First color we're going to use is yellow bucktail. We're going to do this one a little longer than we did our Instagram and Facebook reels there. Got to get a pretty good hank of this stuff for that first one. You just want really good tips. They don't need to be terribly long, so sometimes even when you pull out the shorts, you're basically already building your next wing. You actually need a little bit more into this one, so we're just going to pile that right back onto there. Looks pretty good. Get the stacker. Just got a cheapo stacker. You got to get all the tips in there. This is about how much we're using. There's probably some shorts that'll come to the end and make that a little bit more full. But if it's not enough, we'll just add a little bit more. Looks like we got a pretty good stack there. I like that for our first bit of wing. So I think I'm going to make this one just like a little bit longer. I want it to come out the back a little bit longer than the first one we did on Instagram. So I'm collecting these wraps here. I'm keeping all the material pinched in my hand so we can collect all this material on the top of the hook here. Let's check that out. That looks pretty good. I'm going to come in here as close as we can get and trim down this tags. We're going to start locking it all in. And these wraps I tend to do fairly loose, covering the ends, so it'll actually cover the whole thing. Sometimes you have a hard time covering the whole thing. We're actually going to come further back, collect that a little bit. Oh, we got to adjust the camera a bit, huh? And this light is way too bright. How do I turn it down? That's way better lighting. Goodness. So that's a hefty amount there. That's probably a bit more than we needed, but we're going to keep that going and add our red. Luckily, I had a little strip of red left because I don't have a full red tail anymore. Just got some bits and pieces. Another hank of that. We're going to stack these ones up. There we go. All right, we're going in with our red stripe. I want that to be the same length as the yellow. Get 2 or 3 wraps, keeping that right on top. I'm going to get rid of any of the loose fibers. We'll take 1, 2 forward, kind of nice and tight. Trim off all this extra. These ones are kind of loose, just collecting it all. See how they slip if you go too tight? Try to get back on top. Oh, man. That's all right. We'll go slowly back up. We'll just leave it like that until our next yellow goes on. That way we're not building too much bulk. And on the top, I'm going to use like way less yellow. We have plenty of yellow. Yeah, we went a little heavy on the bottom. That's all right, though. It's going to be a really full fly. You know, this one doesn't need to be transparent. It is all the attractor colors, you know. And that's basically what this fly was for. It's an attractor pattern. I think it was developed in the Catskills. I'm not 100% sure, though. It was used a lot for salmon fishing as well. Cord this thread up so it'll stay back. Oh, goodness. There we go. Oh, perfect. Actually worked fairly well. All right, now we gotta be pretty careful here. We want to be able to cover all this up without building up way too much bulk, which is easy. Oh, I think we're getting it. Like some of this loose stuff down here. Check this side. A little bit to cover. Right there. All right, that's it. We're going to get a whip finish on this guy before we do too much. Here, let me finish. Get it in the center. Cool. It's a little bit dense for my likings, but it's actually going to look cool in the water because it's going to be really full, and you'll see that red is like the lateral line really good. Throw some epoxy on the head here, using that Loon Flow. You get this completely saturated, give it a nice glossy look on the finish. It looks cool. Torch this off. That's it. That's our little Mickey Finn on a larger hook. So we're going to call it the Mickey Finn Bass Fly. It's going to look good in the water. It's going to slim down with this wing. That body's going to sparkle through there. It's going to be a really good attractor. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Comment down below some flies you want to see. Just got a call about a custom order going in for Nymph Box. And we're going to throw in some dry flies in there too. And we're going to do about 40 or 50 of those. So thinking about doing a saltwaters kind of series and getting some boxes tied for some buddies as well. So thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all that stuff. Keep yourself updated so you can watch some more fly tying with us. All right, thanks guys.